What's cracking, everybody? New video. So today we're gonna go into soft white underbelly, and this one is called gang member interview, and they're interviewing an individual by the name of Johnny. So I don't know this story, but it was recommended that I check it out and do a reaction. So here we go.
All right, Johnny. Johnny, what neighborhood did you grow up in?
I'm from Santa Fe Springs, Cantarana, that's southeast LA. In Whittier and Norwalk, we're the only neighborhood in two cities. We take up a section of Whittier and Santa Fe Springs. So we're the only gang in southeast LA that occupies two cities.
So it ends up being a big gang.
Yeah, we're a big gang. We came out in 1941. We used to be called Flood Ranch, but they changed the name because there was a lot of frogs right there by the river bottom. So they changed us to Cantarranas, which in English means singing frogs. And in my hood, you couldn't be from my neighborhood unless you had family members, maybe your brother, your sister, your dad, or your mom. If you didn't have nobody, no kind of family members in the hood, you couldn't get in. And that lasted till about '89. After that, went a little bit different way, somebody created an action, and what he did was we got at him and we let him know he wanted to get in the hood so bad, but he couldn't get in because he didn't have no family members. So one of the guys threw out there, okay, well, bring us 2 bodies and you can get in. Well, he didn't bring 2, he brought 5 in one weekend, So we let him in, so he broke that tradition, and that's my home.
I'm trying to be cool, man. But you guys know I like to clown, right? How is homeboy skinny and fat at the same time? Whoo-wee! My boy looks like he's about to slump over. He's tired. He's just tired. That's all it is. But yeah, my boy is skinny and fat. Oh, he got a little ink on him. He got little names and shit. Hey, let's just see what he's saying, though. It's just me clowning. Don't take it personal, Johnny.
My homie today, right now he's in Pelican Bay. He's doing like about 80 years. But he broke the tradition, so that tradition was broken. Me, I didn't really agree with it due to the fact that, I feel that if you know somebody for a long time, since say grammar school, they're most likely not to tell on you. But nowadays that you get people from other cities and stuff, there's no type of loyalty or camaraderie there, But I've been from my neighborhood since the age of 13. I've had my teardrop. That was the first tattoo I got. I got it at 15 years old.
Where's the teardrop tattoo coming from?
Well, it didn't represent that I had been to prison for a few years because I was only 15 and I wanted it filled in. So it really represents when you do the deed, In other words, you take care of business. You put somebody in the dirt, So I earned my teardrop at 15 years old. And it's been on my face since then. I was going to remove it, but my little girl, she's from my neighborhood. She's my homegirl. She told me, nah, that if I removed it, it would...
Wait. Is he talking about, when he says my little girl, is he talking about his daughter, and his daughter is his homegirl?
Be me, So I left it on my face, and I went to prison, did 17 years. But I've been to juvenile hall, YA. I've been to a placement, juvenile camp 3 times, and I went to prison first time for 2 counts of kidnap. And I was picked up for 3 counts of murder and 4 counts of kidnap. They ended up convicting me of 2 counts of kidnap. They gave me 15 years. I did 7 out of that.
Hold on, listen, hold on. I'm confused. There's a lot of numbers right there. I just want to, let's just go back a little bit right there. Let's try this again, Johnny.
I've been to a placement, juvenile camp 3 times, and I went to prison first time for 2 counts of kidnap.
Oh, okay.
And I was picked up for 3 counts of murder and 4 counts of kidnap. They ended up convicting me of 2 counts of kidnap. They gave me 15 years. I did 7 out of that. Got out for a year, went back and did 7 more straight. Got out and then went back and did 4 more. Right now I just barely got off parole. So right now I'm doing all right, but...
So you just got out?
Yeah, I've been out for about 2 years now. But I've been to the county here and there, But the longest I did was 7 years straight. They gave me 7 years with 80% for a 20 stack of crystal meth. They gave me 7 years for
7
that.
years for that?
Yeah, they were trying to strike me out, trying to give me a 25 to life for a 20 bag of glass. I ended up having to take a deal for 7 years with 80%. I did every 7. I did over till the last day. I was in there getting high. I was in there stabbing people, you know, went to the SHU program. And then that's when I got affiliated, you know. They took me to Sacramento. They took me sent a packet to Sacramento to see if they could, you know, another.
See, I don't like talking about this type of stuff. I didn't know this, but let's see.
The words placed me with these gentlemen, and I didn't have no photos with anybody in it. I didn't have no letters. I didn't have no identifying marks. One thing about me is I never got any type of marks except this one where, you know, it affiliated me, you know, where they can see my body and say, well, that tattoo right there means something, you know. All my tattoos meant something. I got my daughter's name, my wife's name, and my frogs.
Yeah, a lot of frogs on the back.
Yeah, I wanted to earn my frogs, you know. I got 7 total, you know. In my hood, you had to earn them. If you didn't earn them, then we would take you out ourselves. One of my little homies ended up getting 5 frogs on him. He didn't earn them, so they killed him like a week later. Yeah.
And
My
each
home.
frog signifies what?
Each frog represents a soul, somebody's soul. Yeah, so once you get a soul, you can put it on your body.
Understood.
Yeah, and one of my homies didn't earn it, so they killed him. My other homie that earned, he had a triple murder.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that could be a thing, but you know, I would think like you don't want to say that, right? And you know, the authorities are gonna know what those things mean. So how long do you wait before you get it? Because there's no statute of limitations on bodies. So and with meth being the way it is, getting people to turn on their homeboys and turn on their family the way meth is done, you know, I don't know. If that's true, that's wild.
He put 3 frogs on him. This guy put 5. So the guy that had 3 killed the guy with 5 because he never earned them. Mainly, I was the one that used to find people that couldn't get found. You know, I used to go undercover. I've had my hair red. I've had my hair blonde. You know what I mean? I've shaved my mustache off, wore glasses. I grew my hair long, shaved my head. I used to change my identity a lot.
Just to change your identity.
Yes,
To protect
exactly.
yourself from
Getting found, getting caught.
by who?
By the FBI for a while.
The FBI?
Yeah, the FBI was on me for a while. You know?
Is this for reals? So when I do these reactions, man, I'm trying to be, I'm always going to be honest. You know, I like to have fun, man. And I want to see why is the FBI after a street criminal? I mean, what federal crimes is this man committing? You know, he dyed his hair and grew his hair out and shaved his mustache and wore glasses. So far, I don't see nothing the feds want, but he may be an international spy.
On me for total they were on me for about 10 years due to the fact that I had 5 family members that were those guys.
If you could pass for Caucasian with blonde hair.
Yeah, it could, exactly. I used to cover up my tattoos with makeup.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do a lot of things, you know. Sometimes I have my mustache trimmed real small, or I'll let my goatee and mustache and I'll shave it real thin, you know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll wear glasses. If I've had red hair before. Yeah, I had red hair before. They were looking for me for a double murder, and I changed my hair to red. But they ended up busting my homies.
Wow, there you go. If those of you on the run for jaywalking, just dye your hair red. Oh man, I hope this guy is telling the truth, but he seems like he's you know, he's a little gouged right now. Those of you that know it, it means if somebody's gouged. You know, he got the eyes, he got the little raspiness in his voice, and he's scratching a little bit. So hopefully, police, if you watched his video, I think he's just flying right now. He's flying and he's spitting. And you know, when you're in that state, everything sounds good and you believe it.
It's just that me and him had the same first name.
So in prison, which you spent half your life in, right?
Yes.
In prison. How different is the gang world than outside?
During this gang war, you know, out here, there's more room to get around. There's more things you can do and get away with because you can duck and hide and maneuver. In prison, you ain't going nowhere. You can't hide, you can't duck, you know, you got to face everything head on. The way I learned it best is if you did it, you did it. You know, there's one thing I did. They asked me to stab somebody. I ended up stabbing him. And then the other guy asked me, why did you stab him? I said, well, I felt it was the right thing to do, you know. But I was the type of person, if I did something wrong, well, then stab me, you know. And due to the fact that I carried myself at a certain level, well, my punishment was severe. My punishment wasn't do 50 push-ups or do 113 burpees. My punishment was they would get a knife and maybe they would make the handle. They'd make the handle about 5 inches long, and you got the 7-inch knife, so they would leave maybe about 1.5 inches out, and they would stab you with that. And that's just a checking, more or less. That's just, don't do that again, you know. I wouldn't get a beat down, I wouldn't get regulated. Yeah, because I knew better.
So they went and made a knife. They got a knife that was 7 inches and put 5 inches of handle on it. Yeah, that was your checking. So I've seen people get checked. I've taken part in checking somebody, and I never seen nobody make a handle. Most guys make the handle as small as they can so they can just make sure it's not going to slip out of their hand, because checking or not, the cop doesn't know, oh, that's just a check. They're not really trying to kill them. Once you move, the cops move. And so every check-in that I've seen, it's been, we are going to try to remove you from the earth. If you survive, God was on your side that day. So I've never heard of somebody having a 7-inch knife with a 5-inch handle. But, I haven't been everywhere,
I had been in prison. There was no excuse for this black dude bought an ice cream, and I went and got his ice cream and took a bite. I know better than that. But if I did take a bite, well, then my punishment would be severely. I've been stabbed twice, just getting checked, And each time I got stabbed about 7 times. But it was just because I needed to get checked in a level that I carried myself on. I already been in prison 5 times. There was no excuse for me, more or less. And I'm a strong believer in that. I'm a strong believer in you get punished we'll say at this level because you carry yourself at this.
And what he's saying there is true. If you know better, then your punishment will be at that level. It's true, but the whole checking by whacking you and only using a certain amount of the piece on you, I don't know that part. Never seen that, but I do know that there are people that are the tune-up you're going to receive is going to be based on what you knew, what you should have known. But if it's going to be something where they're going to put somebody on you or put some people on you, they're not going to tell those guys, hey, take it easy on him, man. I've never seen that.
This level. A lot of things can be told, but in a certain way. There's information I can give you, but there's certain information, vital information that I can't give you. Yeah. As in names, places, but I can speak things I did, in my life, and I did it all. I've heard about things that dudes did in prison. Like I heard about a guy that they sent 4 dudes to stab this guy, and he stabbed them all. Well, when that came about to me, and they sent 4 dudes at me, I did the same thing.
Okay. All right, Johnny. So I'm starting to have, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt, I could be wrong. Maybe he did stab him all. Maybe that's one of the times he dyed his hair red. He put some Kool-Aid in his shit. They were like, is that the guy we're supposed to get? I don't know, homie. And bop, 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 bop. He got all them. They would have kept moving on him, though.
All 4 of them. And they were supposed to come and get me, and I ended up stabbing all of them. So apparently they sent the wrong guys to get at me. So what they did was they didn't try it again, you know what I mean? And that was simply out of hate.
Okay. Is this thing on? We found one. It's for sure we found one. So they sent 4. Now, the way prison works, if they're sending that many, there's no fixing it. There's no coming back. So they're not going to send 4. I don't think I've ever seen 4 sent. I think the most I've seen is 3. And it's for a particular reason. That's why I'm saying if they send 4, there's no fixing that. There's no coming back. There's no off. Man, he got them. That red Kool-Aid in his hair threw everybody off. Man, that dude's sharp. Man, let's let him slide on the stand. Doesn't work like that. Johnny, ease on up, player. You did too much today.
Out of people just not liking me, not liking the way I did things. But like I was saying, I was 19 years old in prison, and I was running all of Centinela, and that was level 4 and level 3, and I was only 19 years old. You know what I mean? And I was speaking to gentlemen that were 45, 50, been to prison like 10, 15 years, and I had more rank than them. For the simple fact was the way I carried myself,
A lot of that has to do with
Johnny, stop mad dogging me. Look at the way he's looking at me right now. What, homie? Stare off. Staring contest. I did this one before. Whoever blinks first loses. Watch this.
the respect you.
Oh shit, this dude don't blink.
and you earn.
Oh, he blinked,
Yeah,
fool.
and I went
I want to say.
county jail.
Oh, I think he blinked. I think I won. So he's 19 years old, and he carries himself in such a way that he's been placed in the leadership position. And not only did he say he was running the yard, but he was running all 4 yards in a prison, all 4 facilities, even though he has 0 access to the other 3 yards. Whatever yard you're on, you're on. Oh, damn, this dude. So we got a Mexican one now. It's funny how lately I've been getting in the comments how I have a problem with whites, and I don't have a problem with any whites, any blacks, any Asians, anybody. This is a reaction channel. And now, look at, oh shit, hold on. Is he getting size? Look at, is he flexing on us right now? Because earlier he looked like he was a fall over. He was skinny, and yet he was fat. He had a roll. I don't know. I'm going off track right now. Let's hear this.
And the first time I went through, I didn't really do anything in general. I did my time and got out. The second time I went through, I went balls out. I stabbed everybody and anything, you know what I mean? And I ran 5 prisons, the whole prison.
You can see it on the bottom, man. Every yard, every dude. It's impossible. You can't do that. You're not there. You can't put out fires you can't see. Hey, man. Hey, Soft White Underbelly is a good channel, man. But I think that, like I said before in another reaction video I did. Get out of there. My dog's being nosy. Another reaction that I did, I think when people have an addiction, and I'm not putting that on Johnny, you guys make your decision, but when people have an addiction, my understanding is Soft White Underbelly is based in somewhere on or near Skid Row. Now, word's gonna go around quick. Hey, if you have a store, you can tell this dude, you can get a little bit of money, and then maybe get your high or your beer, whatever, hotel room, stay warm, whatever it is. But I guess it's cool that he's giving people a platform to talk on and tell their story, but the story should be based on some kind of reality. And being that this man that has this channel doesn't really have a full grasp on how things run inside the walls, then these type of stories get told. But there's nobody, not if you're Mexican, if it doesn't matter if you're from Southern California or Northern California. One dude cannot run every single facility in a prison because he's not there to see it. Things need to be dealt with immediately, and if you have to wait, and the time he's talking about, there wasn't cell phones. Now there's cell phones where you can make a call. Hey, homie, we got this issue over here. That wasn't happening. This is some bull.
Every dude, I was in charge of everybody. I ran Centinela, Ironwood, Chuckawalla, Tehachapi, and Delano. And I'm talking about all 5. Every dude on there, I was responsible for all of them. And I was 23 years old, 24 years old, and there was a lot of times that dude got into it with the Muslim brothers, and they don't play. You know, the Muslims, they don't play, especially on level 4. You know, and one of the little homies I left in charge because I went to a family visit. When I came back, this dude just totally disrespected these individuals, and they wanted to take his win, doing that. They were lifers. They didn't care. They killed this fool. So I had to get at the Muslim guy, and he's an older guy, and I said, yeah, you know, apparently I heard that you wanted someone to talk to that was in charge here. He said, yeah, can you get him? I said, well, yeah, I'm that guy, you know. And he looked at me, he's like, man, you know, how old are you? And I said, you know, age is but a number, man. And the way I approached him was like, excuse me.
Oh, damn, man. It's not that likely that the guy running the yard for whatever faction isn't going to be known by other factions, right? They'll figure it out. I have a pretty good guess. But this this whole conversation, well, wow, how old are you? It's not, if there's an issue that's so serious that they want to take somebody's win, your age don't matter. It's, let's have this discussion right now because it's about to get real.
You know, be highly appreciated if I can get a little bit of your time and understanding, you know. And when I approached him in that fashion, he was a lot quicker to speak to me, you know. And he spoke to me, we resolved everything, and I had little homie removed, you know, because he did disrespect the man, you know. But I was 23 years old at that time, you know what I mean, and I was already running a prison, so, you know, and I got out here, and I've ran 3 cities in Orange County, and I'm...
No wonder why the feds were after him. No wonder why he had to trim his gold. Because he kept his goatee, but he made it thinner. And then that threw everybody off. And then he threw sunglasses on some now and then, and you couldn't figure out who he was. And then sometimes he would throw his glasses on. Sometimes he would throw his glasses on like this. Look, boom. And then you'd be like, oh, I think that's Johnny. And then immediately he'd be like, oh, they might know who I am. And he would go like that. And he'll put him upside down like that. And they'd be like, nope, that's not him. Wrong guy. He's running 5 prisons, 3 cities, 72 nations. This dude is amazing.
I'm from LA, so, you know, when I got out of prison the first time, you know, they knew of my reputation. When I was a youngster, I earned my bones in the hood by finding people that couldn't get found. In other words, I was the guy that they called when this guy burned one of the main connections and they wanted him found. Like I said, I used to change my hair color, change my name, my appearance, and everything. Well, one time we had this girl. She was moving pounds of glass, moving maybe 6-7 pounds a day. And glasses, crystal meth. And nobody could get close to her. So I sat back and I thought.
San Johnny, glasses man. Let's see this. We're going to end after this because this is a 40-something minute video. 46 minutes. We're 10 minutes in. That probably means we're damn near on 30 with the way I run my mouth. So let's see if we can get through this.
But how could I get close to this woman? You know
How?
what I mean? So what I did
Let's
was
figure it
I
out,
changed
Johnny.
my appearance. I went and borrowed an ounce of glass that was powerful. It was pure.
Pure.
No cutting or nothing.
Nothing.
So I got that ounce of glass. I went to this girl's house and knocked on the door. They opened the door.
Now let's set this up. She was sometimes moving 7 pounds a day, but he came to her house with an ounce.
Went in there and I spoke to her, you know, introduced myself as something totally different because I knew she was on top of her game. She didn't want nobody to get close to her.
But she opened the door and let him in.
The way I got closer was I went in there, I got on the phone, had a fake conversation, told this guy, hey man, send that 15 grand over here, send the 10 over here. So now she's listening. So what I did was I got the ounce of dope and I threw it on the table, boom. And I told her, go ahead, man. You go ahead and try that. So on the way out the door, she's like, hey, you forgot your ounce of dope. I said, no, that's nothing. I get that constantly. You can have that. So what I did was I gave it to her. Really, I borrowed that ounce from somebody. But I used it so that she would see that that was nothing to me.
That was nothing to him, you know. And she didn't want anybody to get close to her, but she opened the door to a stranger. Let him throw dope around and get on the phone. Whoa. You know, these guys that tell these stories, man, there's so many loopholes, but how come the people that are interviewing them never ask a question?
Because I wanted to get to the pounds because that's what she was dealing at. Nobody.
That she was dealing pounds. Again, she was dealing pounds, but his ounce, guaranteed the way this story is going to go. Haven't seen this video. I guarantee that the pounds she has are irrelevant because she needs More ounces.
We can get close to her. So I left the pounds there. I left her my number. I knew she was going to get high. She called me about 15 minutes later. She said, damn, this shit is pure. How can I get more of it? I said, it depends on what you want, you know. I wanted to get her up to the pounds due to the fact that she was only saying she was dealing ounces, but I knew she was dealing pounds. So she called me the following day about 10 in the morning. She tells me if I can come over. I go over and I get there. And when I get inside, she's sitting with 2 individuals. Now, I know these 2 individuals have a weapon because I have a weapon myself. Well, what happens is she has to use the bathroom, so she excuses herself.
She's had a
So at that
tropelo.
time, it gave me the opportunity to talk to these 2 individuals, which
yeah.
these 2 individuals were her torpedoes.
Yeah.
In other words, they were used to protect her.
Yeah,
But now I
absolutely.
needed to get at them,
Get at him.
excluding her.
Exclude her.
So I spoke to them in Nahua. And what Nahua is, it's the Aztec language. And I knew that these dudes knew Nahua because
He knew that they knew Nahuatl. But he's calling it Nahua. Nahua are a people. Nahuatl is the language. But he knew that they knew somehow. Very few people know, but there's 3 people in a room that speak it. This is amazing.
I knew of one guy, his reputation, and who he was. So I spoke to him in Nahua. The other one didn't know Nahua. So as I'm speaking to this guy in Nahua, the other guy don't understand what we're talking about. Well, what I'm really doing is I'm lacing this guy up and letting him know who I am, who I represent, and who
yeah.
I work for.
Yeah.
Because he's unaware of.
He knew
What
your
I'm doing.
reputation. He knew his reputation, but he doesn't know who he is.
I'm letting him know why I'm there.
Yeah, let him.
I'm there to take over her business.
Yeah.
Keep him as a torpedo.
Of
but
course.
yet I'm going to take over her business.
Yeah, he's been with her and he's been loyal to her, but now he's going to be disloyal to her, but he's going to keep him on his team because he's probably going to be loyal to him. It all makes sense.
And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to infiltrate
Yeah.
on what she does.
Yeah.
So she came back into the room. Now I have one of her torpedoes on my side.
Fuck yeah.
But he's really working for her.
What?
Now, this is my inside man. This is how I'm getting in.
Oh,
I
like,
didn't
the, like the Denzel Washington movie, right? The Inside Man? Was that the movie? Okay. This is strange.
woman. I didn't use nobody. I used it an individual that was protecting her, and that was my way in. So what happened
Yeah.
when she came out the shower? We talked a little bit. Now he's on my team. So what we
Hold on. She took a shower? In the middle of a business meeting? This is like porn.
did was we got her to do a deal for £5. And what happened was we went to a Starbucks. All we did was we were switching cars. She had one car with all the dope in it, and then she had another car. They were same color, same brand, mark, and everything. So what happened was she ended up getting the keys to the individual who was taking care of her, but all along he was working for me. He had already got paid. So we ended up getting her for £5.
That's it, man. I've had enough. These reactions, we're on. I'm gonna write down in case you guys want me to do another one. I'm gonna write it down. We're at 13 minutes and 44 seconds. 13 minutes 44 seconds. Please don't ask me to do more on this guy. Please. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, while I was going to clown him some more. I'm not going to do that, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. Share the video with someone who you think will enjoy it. If you didn't, let me know why. This might be the funniest dude. At all the reactions I've done, this dude might take the cake. I think he does. But it looks like he's sobering up, so... Hey, everybody, please be safe. Be smart and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out. All right, Johnny.